Hello guys, welcome to Titus Pétange. It's the 2059 to 2060 season. We're a little bit tired today. We got woke up to get to the dentist early doors, and I've not actually woken up since. It's been one of them days where you just can't really gain your energy. So if I'm making mistakes through this recording, you know why. I get my excuses out there already. It was Titus Pétange against Chelsea in the Champions League final. The last time we'd seen each other, we won 4-2 after extra time, and that was on the 31st of May 2059. I'll talk to you about what's happened since then. After we go into the future, past, we need to take a look at the 2058 World Cup. Because I touched upon it with Luxembourg, like we didn't qualify for the 2058 World Cup. It was, scraping by, I guess. It was within grasp, but never happened. This kind of gives me hope. What actually happened in the World Cup? Bolivia lost to Colombia in the final. Bolivia, obviously, spearheaded by Gadiel Kim, who's easily their best player, the Titus Pétange man. But Colombia, Colombia are the world champions at the moment. It's one of the most incredible football manager simulations that I've ever seen. It gives Luxembourg a lot of hope. There is a significant amount of chops and changes in the World Cup winning teams since France in 2030. So, yeah, there is significant hope there. There's belief that one day Luxembourg will be in the situation that Colombia find themselves in. All right, so that we needed to talk about that because that amazing result for the South American nation. And then we go into transfers to talk about what's happened, ins and outs since the 31st of May. Calabrese was the last one. Stefano Calabrese, of course, it was the centre-back, not our midfielder. I got very confused then. Ruben Courtois has gone out on loan. That was the most significant move, the only move of any sorts from the end of last season. All the rest of it has been done since the turn. Only two in. James Craddock, a holding midfielder that we're hoping to turn into a centre-back coming in from Chelsea. A lot of extensive scouting and research on this player, and that's why we decided to lump down £46.5 million. The ruling is normally don't spend anything over 40, preferably 30. But this guy, 46 million after convincing all of our scouts, really, that this guy was the man to sign. A drop in the ocean for Demir, a centre-back, Turkish centre-back coming in from Besiktas, actually already gone to Trabzonspor because he was so underwhelming. There's a significant loss there, but better to get him off the books when you know that he's never going to make it into the first team. So there's the two ins, and it's only technically one in now. Let's have a look at the outs and sort out by fees because, as you'd expect, there is a load of loans going. The good thing here is that we've got, how many? 12 people out on loan. So 12 people who are developing for us, but not at our club, where money is coming back to us. So good recoup. Pablo Blasco is probably the most significant player on this list at 5 stars. So he will be kind of a loss in that centre-back role, but we are trying to push more younger centre-backs into that as much as we can. But also, like, Dylan Thomas out there, £1.1 million a month coming back. You want Remy, Pujne, Iker, whatever. Loads of loans of players that are growing, hopefully, at different clubs. And then you've got, 21 people actually being sold. So let's go to the top. Edu Rubio, our magnificent shot-stopping goalkeeper, didn't have the speed. Wasn't particularly convincing as a sweeper keeper. Excellent shot-stopper, though. Didn't really want to get rid of him because I'd already had a bit of a concern, the fact that we didn't have that many young goalkeepers coming through. But at £121 million, head got turned a little bit. And it wasn't exactly what we're looking for because of that lack of speed in the net. So I was like, okay, well, time might be right to just risk it in the net, because we've got two goalkeepers fighting it out. I significantly like one more than the other, to be honest, but both of them look like they will eventually make it. It's up to me to give them the development time. We'll show the first team shortly after we talked about the rest of the outgoing players. So Edu Rubio, it took me a little bit to consider it. I rejected it at first, but 121 million is a lot of money. Way more money than we got for Axel Claude, for instance. Finn Gerland is properly ready to take first team duties off that right hand side. So Axel Claude, we get the money back from, who was unbelievable at his time, at Titus Pétange. Ongania, 30 years old, striker. There he is. At 30, you knew that it was going to happen. That was the most obvious of the transfers. Pfizer, 70 million quid to Barcelona. See a rhythm, a pattern in the sales. Some of the European teams plucking for not just the one player from our club, but two, in Barcelona's case, for three players. Pfizer, I like the deal, 70 million. Good centre-back, don't get me wrong, but was never the most amazing at defending. Get him out the club, develop more defenders that are better rounded. Sabatic is, it's a sad one, 30 years old. Didn't really want to see him ever turn 30 because he was the Luxembourg connection in the team, but we wait for the next one. 62 million is quite a nice deal. Espindola going to Dortmund. A little bit of a shame, to be honest. I don't know what happened in the youth teams, because for me, personally, he clearly was a central midfielder with that wheel, but somewhere along the lines, he was told to play a defensive position for some reason. I think he was already natural at holding mid. He needed to be pushed into centre mid. I think that's kind of scuppered his chances a little bit. We'll keep an eye on him because it apparently is guaranteed that he's going to go to 4.5 star potential. Dortmund, therefore, is a really, really good match because we could easily put the money in that they request if he turns into a really good player, a player that we would need at the club, which I don't think he's going to turn into, hence why we sold him. 45 million to Dortmund, 40 million for Gumid, who I really like the look of, but he's just not got it in terms of, he doesn't like big matches, is still a bit of a mercenary at 22. So, and we needed to develop him further at the right-hand side position. So that was a sale being pushed to us, to be honest, being forced on us by the fact that he doesn't like big matches. Outside of Neto, we would like to hopefully have a really high mentality team that really likes to play in games such as the Champions League final. Abdoulaye Sarr is potential flatlined at 3 stars. Abdoulaye Sarr, 3 stars. He just one of them players that just dropped off. Sorry, mate. But there you go. Leon coming in. 2 players. They weren't happy with just the one. 70 million combined for them two. Christoph Kammerbauer, a German defender, goes to Zenit. And I'm pretty sure Zenit get 2 players. Yes, they got Alberto Villaslada as well. Ridiculous. Jam Riera moves to Salzburg. Left back. It's £11 million. Richie Stephen. I don't really know what Manchester City see in him, but also, what did we see in him to sign him up in the first place? Just deceiving potential. 9.5 million. Marinkovic, I think it was an 8.5 million sale of the Liechtenstein centre-back to Paris Saint-Germain. See Paris Saint-Germain 2 times on this list. Pere Acedo, the Spanish central midfielder. I kind of like this wheel as a Mazzala type of player, but he never had the potential for it to do it at the level that we require. Alberto Villaslada talked about going to Zenit. Not a bad little player, good little wheel. 6.25 million. Let's have a drink. We got Kaike Moroto, who weirdly through the summer, and this is not the first time that I've done it, we have a little look after the season, so maybe post-season, pre-season, whatever you want to call it, the summer essentially. We have a little flick through the under-23s, and sometimes my eyes spring up saying, oh, he might be all right. And Moroto was a player because he had the speed. I was like, oh, he could turn into a good player. At this point, he was 4.5 stars, 5 stars potential. Probably the day, or definitely the week afterwards, he gone to 4 stars, and he all of a sudden turned into this, he's not going to make it kind of players, and that's just a shame. And also, sod's law, isn't it? 5 million for Rasmus Jensen. He goes to Paris Saint-Germain, 4-star potential. Then we got Neo Diner, who is a midfielder. Really, really small wheel. 3.5-star potential. I don't even think he'll make that, to be honest. 2 million for Jean Village, who I think actually came from Barcelona. That's hilarious. Not that much money lost here. He's playing for Real Madrid now. We got 2 million for Robin Dijkman, he's gonna be a decent player, it looks like, but he really doesn't like big games. Okay, move him on, no problem. Then we got Trabzonspor. There's Demir moving, so doing the jump, the hop between Turkey and Luxembourg. And finally, Guy Rimbaud. So we've gone through all of the players. This left winger is playing for AC Milan now, and it was a dirt cheap deal at 1.4 million. Let's have a look at the schedule. Good so far this year, apart from one. We lost to Racing FC Luxembourg at home, by the way. We just didn't pull it together in this match, and it's probably because we sold so many of our big players. The kind of dynamics of the team were completely ruined, but it has picked up again, and we're looking very, very good again, apart from maybe goalkeeper, where we're looking really shaky. We'll talk about that in a second. Rosenborg Champions League group. Very interesting matchup, I would say, against the Norwegian side. We don't usually see this in the 4th game of the group stage, but this is it. Usually by winning 4 out of 4, we get qualified for the knockout rounds. I can't imagine it being any different here. I've not done the mathematics. Don't need to. We usually guarantee qualification, don't we? Quite easily, so we don't even worry about what is to come in the group stage. Okay, so before we flick through the entire team, we just want to talk about the goalkeepers. We have Briama Mbalo, who's going to be a very, very good goalkeeper, no doubt, but I fucking hate the eccentricity on him. 18 eccentricity. Stats-wise, looks all right, looks sound. Obviously, he's going to be quicker than him. Rubio as well, but for me, I think I'm going to side with Christophe Manachal, because he's just got more what I want. Fair enough, his eccentricity is not low, but it's not at 18. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they develop. Obviously, if Embolo develops at a more ridiculous rate than the French goalkeeper, then we'll have to go for him. There is no doubt about that. We're not that stupid. And eccentricity is not the be-all and end-all. It's just that eccentricity is rather high. Let's flick through. Neto's still here, and he still doesn't like big games. There's Finger, and boy, oh boy, yeah, he's turning excellent. Still not completely natural at right winger, but I expect this year, with the amount of games that he's going to be playing on that side, yes, he will turn. Oscar Gonzalez, and then Iker's out on loan. Juric, sorry, he's hit that ceiling, I understand. So Juric, his potential has dropped for now, but it probably will still go up. Gadiel Kim, the legend, the hero of Bolivia. There he is. And realising that he's got the Bolivian logo there instead of his actual... That's a weird bug, isn't it? Leonardo Bruno. 5 stars now, okay. Was he 5 stars last year? Here's Luis Enrique, who we brought in from the under-23s, definitely. Give him a shot. Looks like his arrows are going down at the moment, but it shouldn't really be the case because he's definitely improved as a player. His career might be at centre-back, it might be at right-back. Who knows? He's got the height to do it at centre-back. I'm not really that fussed. There's the backup / potential first-team goalkeeper. Then we get into Marquez, who is improving at Dynamo Zagreb this year. And he's got that wheel that's starting to look like significant Mazzala situation. Hopefully, with time, we can make it more well-rounded. We don't want it all to go in physical speed and vision. We want it more to be like this. Marty is doing really well. Boris Mitev out on loan. And then we got Moreira, who's now a big-time striker. He needs to pick up where Ongania left off. Mario Mulai, who is from Kosovo, he is currently out on loan to Partizan. Could have been a situation where he got like good minutes this year, but you know what? Get him out on loan. Armando Pereira, now he's the lad that will be a winger for the first team, no doubt. Guaranteed 4.5 stars, already at 4 stars, 22 years old. Really nice, really nicely shaped wheel. So we'll see more of him, probably coming off the bench. Pujne's just gone out on loan. Looking good, like 18 finishing. I expect good things from him. So he was like the first decision after Ongania, who's the striker from the under-23s that we're going to take a chance on. Pujne was the first one out, and then we brought in that Kosovan lad as well. Johan Remy, the further on this goes, the less I have hopes for him. But it looks like with the arrows, Inter Milan doing all right with him at the moment. So, you know what? Fingers crossed. Everything turns out all right for the lad. Alberto Torre now is a big experienced centre-back at 26 years old. And he has absolutely no cons. Love to see it. Samuel Zaza, still not natural at centre-back, but look at this now. Middle aerial, nearly. Defending's over the dark greens. Physical's over the dark greens. He's a behemoth. Loved that. Last goes out on loan. Let me just have a little drink. It's Calabrese, the Italian central midfielder. We've not took him out on loan. Outfield needs to be as good as it possibly can this season to help out the goalkeepers as much as possible. And there's Savo Saran, the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner. Edward Dolonga, he's not gone out on loan. Try and give him game time. He's up to 4 stars ability with a 4.5-star potential. And we're back to the goalkeeper. Under 23s are looking like this, obviously, like just a ridiculous amount are on loan at the moment. And then we got these lads. Shadrach Amadou, I'm pretty sure we tried to put on loan. Yes. But Celtic would just not give him... No, Celtic were playing him in the wrong position. Tut Celtic. So he's come back. Other than that, everything else has gone according to plan. And I believe, has Dutra... Oh, Dutra's fallen to 4.5 stars again. There was a point where he'd gone to 5 stars and I started celebrating. He was a lead that I was... Hello? Why can I not select the team? What's going on there? Custom selection info, really? Had we already chose the team? That doesn't make any sense. Right, well, sod that then. I mean, that's the team that we're going for. No quick pick feature there, for some reason. Titus Pétange against Rosenborg. It was pretty evident that we were a very good team in comparison to Rosenborg in the first game. We scored, 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. But Rosenborg did, pick themselves up. We should have this no problem today. Solid save by Henry. But hopefully it's a good defensive performance by Rosenborg, because I don't want to be here all day watching 10 goals being put past the Norwegian side. So we're actually going to cheer on the underdogs here. Calabrese hits the base of the post. 17. Oh, Neto's got an injury. Yikes. So what's our plan in terms of right backs? It will have to be Luis Enrique. Like I said, could become a centre back, could become a right back. It just depends on what happens in the next couple of years, essentially. He's obviously going to make it himself. It's just depending on the quality of the right backs and the centre backs that we get soon. We just did not need to make a manager team talk to the lad as he came on. Pereira, Enrique lifts it in, and Joric puts it into Henry's hands. So Joric now first team player from our youth academy, which is it's amazing. Let's have Gerland going all the way across. Nice find. Pereira goes around the keeper. Nice goal for Titus. Easy. So hopefully that Neto injury is not bad. Gerland to Kim. I think for the most part, because it was a difficult call on the Axel Claude thing, for the most part, Finn Gerland has been exactly what we wanted, exactly what we expected. So it was a big decision at the time, because Axel Claude was definitely vying for potential Ballon d'Or at the end of last season, before Savo Soren started to go absolutely mental at the end. There you go, Finn Gerland to the roof of the net. There he is, popping up with the second goal. There's also more kind of leeway with the wingers now. There is more flexibility, because Pereira, he can play slightly off the left. Obviously, not his best position, but he can play off the left if needed. Gerland can play off the left if required. So, big thumbs up if we've got a situation where Savo Soran is missing. And why is Savo Soran slightly injured? Okay, understandable. Have a nice day. Not slight. It's slightly tired. Okay, half time. Can see you can hear it now in my voice, the mistakes that I'm making. That bed is calling me, lads. Bed is calling me, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just going up to 4. Oh, yikes! All right, 64th minute can make the other 2 substitutions. Good on Rosenborg from doing this really outstanding defensive job, to be honest. Let's have the longer on for Calabrese. Don't really need to bring on Gonzalez, to be honest, but let's please the crowd with a bit of Savo Saran action. There we go. Last 15 minutes. Let's get a goal for Savo. All the way across. Savo Saran will be gagging for it. Well, he's there at the back post if we can lift it into him. No, it's just played short to Moreira, and very, very similar to the Fingal and goal that. 3-0 it is for the home side. After, 26 shots, 13 on target. It's not actually been a good day for finishing. Moreira puts it into the hands of the goalkeeper. Yeah, definitely have to be more clinical to the end of the season. I mean, but that is something that we probably are missing a lot of. Clinicalness. But we didn't feel like the most clinical last year either. I hope Boris Mitev can follow in Juric's footsteps now and eventually get himself into the first team. We can have like two first team players, maybe even Marquez coming in, 3 first team youth academy players would be amazing. Bruno gives it to Saran. Saran. Here is Luis Enrique off the right. Saran drops it down to Branimir Juric, and that is 4-0. Very good. With deliveries like that, Mr. Enrique, you probably will see yourself at right back, unless there is some significant right back talents in the younger teams, younger squads that we've got. All right, end of the match, 4-0, 33 shots in the end, 18 on target. XG was 3.53 though, so essentially we did quite well, even though we didn't look clinical. We actually did a little bit more than what was expected. So overall, you can't really complain at all, can you? So that was it. We'll get back to y'all when we get probably to another Champions League final. But also, there is a situation with that goalkeeper, because our goalkeepers are so new, we might not make it, and that won't be the biggest shock. We'll have to see. I think Savo Saran will probably win another Ballon d'Or. Let's have a look. Finn Gerland has got the highest average rating, so you can see that he is having a profound effect with the more game time you get him. Most assists, Savo Saran, but he's kind of well spread this time. It's quite impressive that Gerland's actually got the highest average rating. Usually Savo Saran's got that on lockdown. Top goal scorer at the moment, Moreira, and 21 goals. So yes, he's picking up the pace, picking up what was left by Ongania. All right. Nice. Really, really smooth progression and transition between generations going on, apart from what's happening in goal. Hopefully there is like just an outstanding goalkeeper that pops up in this save soon that we can snap up at a young age and concentrate for the next 10, 15 years on. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that's the situation of the club. Yeah, they're amazing players. Yeah, we'll go far in the Champions League. That is what's expected of us. And it would be a surprise if we didn't do that because of how much money we have put into this side and how smart we've been with that investment as well. All right, guys. Take care. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.